everybody claim they gangster until some real gangster stuff occurs. You never know who it is you're hanging out with or who you're shacked up with inside of a prison cell. For this one here, we could talk about a Florida CRIP who decided to snitch on his cellmate about something while I was doing time down here in Florida prison. Let's do it. Dom the best, finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga, yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around and bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitch you with locks. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2, cause violent first steps, finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone and my charger don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see your ass, you gon' leave airlifted. What's up, y'all? You already know, man. Kfrog TV back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor, man. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, and also make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Today I'm gonna be talking about a situation that I witnessed firsthand while I was locked up doing time down here in Florida. And the reason I felt like speaking on this and doing this one is because I know when it comes to gang members, a lot of people like want to hear about it. They want to know. And some people hear the word gang member and off rip think that that person is certified, or they think that person is a real gangster, or that person can hold his water in serious situations. So for this one here, I'm gonna be telling y'all about a Florida CRIP that couldn't hold his water when it came down to a situation. All right, now at this time while I was locked up, I had got sentenced. I got 60 months is what they sentenced me to serve down here in the state of Florida. I had some county time in, but altogether, while I was in there doing my time, I seen so many different things go down. So many different people would break and so many people would end up being a rat. All right, now around this time, it was basketball season. For anyone who's did time down here in Florida, y'all know how it is when it's football season or basketball season. All right, now I'm not talking about, you know, sports on TV season, like when the NBA is playing or the NFL. I'm talking about when inmates are playing football or inmates are playing basketball. And for those that have did time, y'all know we have real deal playoffs and real deal Super Bowls and everything when you're inside a prison, like in the movie The Longest Yard. You know what I'm saying? Now, it was basketball season around this time, so everybody was out on the rec yard watching the teams play each other. It was like the finals, you know, everybody's playing each other, running up and down the damn little rec yard, you know, and everybody's in there cheering and shit, screaming, betting, arguing. You know, everybody's having a good time, getting their mind off of being away from their family locked up. Now, while we're out there, you know, enjoying ourselves, I guess the guards decided to do a shakedown. So they decided to blitz a certain dorm. Whose dorm would it happen to be? My dorm. So next thing you know, they got us coming in from rec. As we're coming in from rec, you know, I seen the guards going in the dorm in the first place from the rec yard. I seen them going in there. You know what time it is when you see multiple officers walking together to go inside of a dorm. You know, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna go right now and they're gonna be searching and looking for something. So I see them go in the dorm, so I already knew what time it was. I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, damn, do I have anything that they can find? Are they going to be able to find the what's it what or the yada yada? You know what I'm saying? You got to kind of think of where you last left things, because that's how they'll catch you slipping. You might think it's just a regular day to go to rec, and then really, boom, you didn't put your shit up like you normally do, you know, or have a certain person that holds it that normally does, and then bam, shake down, and then that's how you get your stuff knocked off or slayed. That's what we like to call it down here when they find it. They slay it, okay? Now, when they bring us in the dorm, come to find out when I walk in, they weren't shaking down the entire dorm. They were shaking down 3 cells on the top tier. Those 3 cells happened to be 2 dudes. One was a CRIP, one wasn't affiliated. The middle cell happened to be 2 other dudes. I think they were both, one was a Muslim and I think the other one was just like a regular inmate. He didn't gangbang or nothing, he was a neutron. And then the third cell, you have a cutthroat and Frog. So my cell is one of the cells that are being shooken down, right? So I'm sitting there. As soon as we walk in the dorm, they're all standing there with gloves. All the rest of the dorms, everybody's like locked down. Everybody's in their room. As everybody's coming in, they're putting them in their cell. The 3 cells that are open is the ones I just explained. So next thing you know, they go to shaking the dorm, flipping the things. As they're going through my cell, I'm standing there. They pat me down. You know, I got my basketball shorts on with my white tee, my Reeboks, you know, because we were on the rec yard. I don't have my uniform on. And, you know, they pats me down and shit. Does the whole makes me lean up against the wall first like this, and then after that puts my hands right here, kicks my legs out from under me, goes to rubbing me down and everything like that. They're flipping my cell. As I'm standing there, the officers are like, oh, all this traffic, man, it's got to be here somewhere. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I wonder what he's talking about, you feel me? At this time, we got cameras inside of our dorm, okay? Let me make it known, when I first went to prison, there was no cameras inside of Florida prison. We didn't have cameras that seen everything we did, you know what I'm saying? So you're able to get away with a way lot more. But now there's cameras, you know? Before you just had to watch out for the blind spots. Now, the cameras are there, but the blind spots still occur, you know? There's still blind spots everywhere. So he's saying, oh, it's got to be here somewhere. It's got to be here somewhere. So, you know, they're flipping my cell. You know, they go in there, flip the bunks, take the sheets off, flush the toilet a couple times. You know, they do that to make sure you ain't got nothing like in an air bubble hidden inside of your toilet. They'll flush it so that way, you know, you might have a string coming out of the toilet line. You know, you might have shoved it way up under there and there's a string so you can pull it back out. So they'll flush the toilet. They're looking everywhere, all up under the bunks. You know, there's behind the damn heater, the light. They even brought the step ladder out, put the step ladder up, had the little handheld drill, undrilled all the different screws to let the light open up to look. You know, they're looking for something. I know there ain't nothing in my cell. You know, that's one thing that Frog doesn't really like to have, is things in my cell. Now, if I'm in an open bay, you know, there's more ways for me to, you know, get rid of things like while under pressure, but I'm not gonna lock in my cell with something that I shouldn't have, unless it's something petty like some cigarettes or something like that. But as far as a cell phone, I'm not locking myself in the cell at night with the phone, because once they shut your water off and then blitz your cell, there's nothing you can do. You have nowhere to go. The only few hiding spots they've been known about. You get what I'm saying? You're like, that's dumb as hell, in my opinion. So I didn't really have none. I wasn't really, you know, thinking I had anything, but you know, it still had me nervous. Like, I'm thinking that they're gonna find something to pin on me. You know, for them to, you know, search all three of these cells, you know, they obviously look at it like we're all together or something. So next thing you know, boom, they go to the next cell. They start searching. They pull out a couple little cigarettes, some flick books, like some porno magazine ones you're not supposed to have, and, you know, different things like that. So I'm like, damn, now we finna go to the box, me and my bunkie, because of what they got caught with. You know, that's what I'm thinking in my mind, or else they want to be flipping all of the three cells. Next thing you know, they go to the one that the CRIP lives in. Now, let me give you a little background about this CRIP first. I remember when he first came in my dorm, he had already been like on this compound, and he probably had way more time in than I did, like as far as like from being in prison. He probably did time at other institutions and stuff. But when he first came in, you know, he was a cool dude. You know, of course, he lived in the cell next to me. We spoke a couple times and shit like that. You know, he was cool. You know, he was one of the people that you thought was thorough, you thought was real, you know, and he liked to gamble a lot. So anytime there was like cards games going on, even if he wasn't the one playing, he'd be down there talking like shit to the people who are playing. You know, letting them know, put your money where your mouth at. Oh, get off the little boy table and play for some real money. Play like he liked to gamble, you know. That's all I really can say about him. I'd see him over there shaking up with his brothers, and they'd mob the pound and different things. But I did notice that anytime something went down with the Crips, you know, if you hear about, oh, this happened, a Crip got stabbed, or you hear something happened over here with the Crips or something, I look, he's in the dorm. He was in the dorm most of the time, but he was banging that shit, you know? So he wasn't really like a bad dude. He wasn't like a one that was acting like he was the toughest one in the world, you know, like a lot of them do. They swear they're the toughest and they're like the softest, but that's for any gang, you know? But at the same time, you know, he was just like a regular, you know, dude to me. He didn't really come off as that much of a gang member. Now, when they finally get into his room and they go to searching and everything like that, they go to looking. They're looking in the light. They're looking in the toilet. Like I said, flush the toilet and everything like that. Next thing you know, behind the bottom bunk, wedged up against the wall, because for those that don't know, it's hard to get under your bunk, especially if it's one of them bunks that got a built-in, you know, the two little shelves. It's real low to the ground. So the guards usually have like this metal pole that's got like a mirror on it. You know, like you see in movies when they stick it under cars so they can see under a car. They usually have things like that they stick under your bed so they can see way back there. And I guess they seen something. You know, as we're sitting there and everything, I'm like laughing. Me and my bunkie are like laughing, joking. We're talking, hanging out. We're not even worrying about it. You know, I'm thinking like, they didn't find that much bad shit in this middle cell. They didn't find nothing in my cell. So in all reality, I'm thinking like they definitely ain't gonna find nothing over there in that cell. So I ain't really tripping about it. We're talking back and forth, just vibing, laughing. Next thing you know, they're like, what's that? Everyone that's talking just straight gets quiet. And everyone looks over. Yeah, I see something. Come in here, Sarge. So the next thing you know, they go in there like 6, 7 deep. They're all in there. So when they go in there, they're looking. They seen something that was like, I guess they were explaining is it looked like a sock. That's what they're trying to say. It looked like a black sock. So next thing you know, these guards are like dropping on the ground. They're trying all they can to try to get whatever they can get. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that is wedged up under the bunk behind them deep ass shelves, like against the wall, you know? So they're trying to get whatever it is. Next thing you know, they got it. You hear the guard say it. Got it. So, you know, I'm trying to see what it is. Everybody wants to see, oh, what them boys get caught with. What they get caught with. First thing the CRIP dude starts saying, man, that ain't mine, man. That ain't mine. That ain't mine. Hell no, that ain't mine. That ain't mine. First thing he starts saying, right? Which, you know, of course people ain't going to just say it ain't theirs just like that. Hey, it was me. No, you feel me? So he's like, it ain't mine. It ain't mine. And what it was is it looked like a sock, but it was really something wrapped up in black electrical tape. You know what I'm saying? So, and what it was is that was a case. It was like a case that they make inside a prison to try to make it through the metal detectors when you have something that has metal. You know what I'm saying? If you get the tape that's like piece like this and a piece like this and it's sticky and you stick it together like this and you make like a sock out of it, whatever you stick in it, sometimes you can go through the metal detector and it won't go off unless it's like a phone, which it was a phone. Now, there's ways around it with the phone also when you put it inside of that case like that. But the metal is still gonna be detected if you don't take the back of the phone off, remove the battery, and where the prongs are, where the battery goes in, you gotta black tape over that and tape the whole battery and put it back in the phone and put it over there and then put that inside the case. And people will be going in and out of the metal detectors and stuff like that, you feel me? So they found it, it was a phone. They're like, oh, we got a phone, we found it. That's what the guards are saying. So we're sitting there like, oh, they knew about the phone, obviously. So one of the guards were like, we knew it was here somewhere. All this traffic we keep seeing on camera going in and out, you know, you think that we're not observing, you think we're not paying attention. Because yeah, the guards, you know, they come around, they do their rounds here and there, but they don't always like pay attention. You know, they don't always like see what's going on. But some of them might act like they're not paying attention and just be watching the camera, paying attention to the cameras. And they seen traffic coming in and out of that cell left and right. And then that's how they were like, okay, boom, you know, there's got to be a phone or something in there, you know. And people usually hang certain things up, you know, like they're shitting. You know, they'll put like a tent up over the door so that way you think they're taking a shit, when really they're either in there shitting or they're in there gunning, or they could be on a phone talking to someone. They don't want the cameras or someone to walk by being able to see what they're doing inside the cell. You see, and that's how it goes down. Traffic is a big no-no. That's one thing that you do not want to, you know, raise red flags. You know, all the traffic going in and out of your cell is gonna raise red flags. And that's what it was. They were observing, they seen people coming and going in and out of the cell. And the bad thing about it is the cell I was in, there was only 2, you know, cells in that dorm that had good reception. See, I've told stories about this before. You can land in a dorm where there's cell phones or there's no phones, and you could possibly get put in a cell that is the only cell with reception. So if all these other cells ain't got no reception due to phone jammers and different stuff, and your cell's the one that has reception, there's gonna be people that try to come in your cell 24/7 to use it for reception. And it isn't like you're just gonna go in there and be like, oh bro, ain't no one finna come in here and use phones, because now the whole dorm is gonna be against you. They're all gonna try to, okay, boom, let's get them up out of there, because they all got phones to use, or they all need to use a phone. You see what I'm saying? So that's dangerous, getting put in that type of situation. And I believe their cell was one of the cells that was good enough with reception, you know. So as they're, you know, saying, well, we got it, we this, we that. Like I said, the CRIP, he was over there saying, it ain't me, it ain't mine, it ain't mine. You know, like I said, that's normal, that's common. Then, you know, after a while, they look over as they're like, whose is this? This is yours? Like, they knew he was like under pressure by the way he was acting. So they threw that little comment, oh, this is yours? And he's like, man, this ain't mine, this is his. Man, that's my bunkies. This and that, this. He just straight started throwing it all out there. And I'm talking about, when he did that, everyone that's in their cells on the window watching, leaning up against the doors, watching what's going on. You just hear him say, oh man, a rat, bro. Man, a rat, man, a snitch, bro. And he's like, man, what you mean? I'm like, man, it's his. He knows it's his, bro. This and this and like, he just starts yelling at the people on the doors. The officers say, cuff up. You know what I'm saying? To the cellmate, not to the CRIP. So they cuff up the cellmate, and the CRIP's like, man, he knows it's his. He knows it's his. You feel me? And I'm like, oh man. He's like, Frog. He's like, man, what? Man, don't want to man up for his shit. And I looked at him and I was like I turned my head on him. It was that look and that shame look, like you ain't never supposed to throw someone under the bus, like explain whose it was. You could say it ain't mine, you know, but as far as saying it's my bunkies, he knows it's his and this and that, you know, stuff like that kind of like makes it to where you're like, damn, he's straight telling, dog, you feel me? So when they cuff him, they take him to confinement for the phone, you know? And next thing you know, before the guards even left, everyone that was yelling on the door was like, oh, you a plate, you a plate, you a plate, you dead, you dead. They're yelling at him, letting him know, like, you a plate. Even his own brothers, like certain ones in there that were like, you know, they were tied with the G's at the time. So there were some G's in there that they were like tied with, that the G's were like, oh boy, it's a rat, boy, you a plate, check in. You might as well letting them know, like, you better not let us get out of this cell because your ass is deer meat, you feel me? Next thing you know, I guess after him hearing it for a while, he decides to go bang on the door, like the door to leave the dorm, and he tells the guards he's in fears for his life, and he checks in and he leaves. You feel me? But the way prison works doesn't mean you're always in the clear. That same Florida CRIP I'm talking about, he went to confinement. He was sitting back there under PC, pending transfer. He wasn't allowed to come back on the compound. His own gang wanted his head, but there wasn't really that many of them out there, so it wasn't really like it was that scary of a situation. You know, there was probably only like 5 or 6 CRIPs on the compound, but since they were tied in with the G's at the time, there was probably like 30 GDs, you know, so it made it look like there was about 40 people almost after him, is how it looked, you know what I'm saying? And then the cutthroats usually tie in, you know, with the GDs too, you feel me? So it's kind of like 3 gangs are on you now because of this situation. And so they were sending kites back there, you know, letting him know he's deer meat. If he comes back to the compound, boy, you know, then you got the ones that are trying to friend him, telling him, nah, bro, trust me, bro, what you did ain't wrong, bro. We here for you, bro. Trust me, bro. Just, you know, come on, PC, come back out here, mob on the compound. Trying to, like, bribe him into thinking he's safe now to come back out there on the, you know, pound and shit. But, you know, of course, he's not gonna, you know, be like, all right, I'm no longer in fear for my life. Can I please go back to the compound? I was mistaken, yada, yada, and then put it back. No. So when they went to transfer him, he ended up getting wet up. The day he touched down at the camp he landed at, he ended up getting wet up. And I knew because the day he got wet up and the day he landed there was a day a bus left. You feel me? So as he was a coming in inmate, there was inmates going. 3 of them inmates landed at our institution. So word got to us real quick that, yeah, a CRIP, his name was such and such. They threw his name out there and everything. They say he got wet the moment he hit the pound. So then the Zoes I knew and shit like that go to calling their brothers at that institution. You know, people got numbers and you call homeboy on the streets, you call from this prison to that prison. You know, and he called and they were like, man, what, a white boy, a CRIP over there just got wet on that alarm. They were like, yeah, the white boy, what's okay? Oh, he just came from where you at, blah, 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 blah. And then they gave the rundown. So that like stamped it once we knew that it was official. And I'm like, damn, that boy got regardless. You see what I'm saying? All because he told. Now, me personally, I feel like he should have just wore that, you know. Even if it was his bunkies, you know, he's a gang member, bro. Like anything you say and do, you know, it doesn't just reflect on you, it reflects on your organization also, you know what I'm saying? You know, that dude that he told on could have been affiliated or been real cool with, you know, been in a gang or whatever, and then that gang would have went to war with the CRIPs over that. You see what I'm saying? That's why he should have just manned up and just been like, I don't know where that came from. That's all he could have said. And then maybe the other dude, or tell the other dude, hey, you say the same shit, we both say we don't know where that came from. You know, play dumb. Go in there, and if the worst comes to worst, you get 60 days in the box. You might have to lay down and wear it. That's it. And that's, you know, but boom, you still got your respect. You still got your credit. You know, the shit that you done earned by putting your life on the line by being a gang member. You know, but then once he went to name drop and saying it was his and he knows it's his and all that shit, I'm like, damn, dog, I just straight up seen this Florida CRIP just straight up go from being a CRIP to being a plate Like, I just seen it within this same sentence. I just seen him go from being a respected gang member once upon a time to now a wanted ex-gang member. Like, just off that line. Like, I seen it happen before word even got around to all of his brothers. You see, like, it was like, there he is. There it is now. You see, like, boom, boom. And I was like, it was like the shame. It was like, you gonna rep something, you gonna be something, stand on it. You know, I know everybody ain't built the same. I know a lot of people ain't cut for shit that be, you know, that they gotta do, but don't be in that fucking water if you can't swim. You know what I'm saying? Playing with fire gonna get you burnt. It's that simple. You know, he should have just not said shit. He should have just stood there and just went to confinement and laid down about it. And guess what? His brothers would have sent him whatever while he was back there and took care of him, because that's normally what gangs do. Unless you get sent back there for some bullshit like gunning, or you keep going to the box and your brothers get tired of it, they're gonna leave you back there and teach your ass a lesson. You know what I'm saying? But he could have went to confinement, laid down, and if it really wasn't his gang would have took care of the other dude, whose it really was. You know, that dude would have been a plate. If this Crip went to confinement for it and he didn't man up about it and the Crip took the fall, you feel me? He would have been a plate. Even if he went to confinement, when he got shipped, he would have got wet instead of the Crip. See, it would have went different ways. But that Crip was, for some reason, he just felt like blaming it and throwing it, like, to where the officers even seen how fragile his word was. You know, like, they knew he was gonna break. That's the whole reason why they were like, oh, this is yours? This is... And they didn't say that to the other guy. They said that to him because they knew the way he was like, man, that ain't mine, man. He was pacing back and forth and shit like that. He was handcuffed. He was all nervous, and the way he was talking, like, he just acted like it was his. So he would say anything to get in and out of trouble. That's the type of person that if he was your co-defendant, dog, he gonna throw you under the bus. There's a lot of people out there like that too, you know, that would do things like that. You feel me? But do anything to get out of it. You know, that's like a snake move. That's like a weasel. You know, they do things like that. They'll use you to their benefit, and then when the pressure builds, they're going to blame it all and point the finger all on at you. And then you're going to be stupid and be assed out and be in there looking like, well, damn, bro, I didn't know. You see what I'm saying? Dude tried to have all the sense and ended up being a rat. Went from being a Florida Crip to a Florida rat. And now everyone's looking for you. All the Crips and GDs and cutthroats. Every camp you go to, you're getting stabbed up and they on your trail. You see what I'm saying? This, in my opinion, is what needs to be done to people like that, though. Like, I feel like if you enter a gang and you leave the rat way, the snitch way, you deserve whatever punishment that gang decides. That's how I look at it, because you signed up for that. You got in some shit and felt like you were gonna ride with it and rot with it and stand by it. And then I'm pretty sure before you ended up ratting, pretty sure, you know, there was a lot of things where the gang helped you along the way. You know, they were your protection. They were your family. They were who helped feed you. Y'all ate together, you know, different things like that that made it to where you weren't in this world alone. It's like you use them and then you rat. So it's like, that just shows everything that they did for you wasn't enough. And it was like you infiltrated them. That's what it looks like. It looks like you just straight played up under them the entire time just to get what you need to get by. That's how I look at it. So I feel like anybody who joins a gang and ends up ratting and gets out of that gang from being a rat, they deserve whatever punishment the gang chooses. That's my opinion. The comment section is there for y'all to drop y'all's opinion. You know, I feel like if you're a Crip or a Blood and you rat, your gang should have the choice of the punishment, of how to, you know, take it out on you. I don't think another gang or another individual should have the say so. You feel me? I don't think that if a Crip told and now he's no longer a Crip, I don't think that the GDs or the cutthroats that are tied with the Crips should have say so on what to do with that individual. Because how you know they're not going to say, oh, just eat them X amount just so the Crips don't get more numbers or keep numbers. You know, how you know they're not just trying to shave down them so they got more than them, you know? You know, you never really know. That's why I feel like whoever they were up under, whoever they're running with, those are the ones that I feel like deserve to give them whatever punishment it is. And whatever punishment they get, they deserve. Think about it. You enter this organization, bro. Boom, 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 boom. Use it for what it's worth. Boom, 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 boom. Use it for what you know. Boom, 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 boom. Learn everything about it. It's lingo, the way they talk, the way they move, their handshake, everything like that. And then you become a rat. It's like you did an infiltration. You infiltrated them, bro. That's how I look at it. That's why I feel like that type of rat deserves whatever they get. and him getting wet up at the next camp he landed at, I thought was funny, believe it or not. When I heard it, I was laughing about it. Like, that boy thought shit was sweet over here, boy. He thought he got away from them boys. You feel me? And it wasn't the Crips that wet him up over there, nothing like that. It was the cutthroats, you know. But at the same time, he still got dealt with, you know. And then that wasn't the last time, I'm sure. Once it happens once, they get you off that pound. Then you go to another institution. And then when they land at another institution, people are going to wonder, oh, what's he doing here? We got a brother here, or how's this guy here and he's in confinement? Why'd he just come from the infirmary? Or he got stabbed, he's here. Or we got a brother or ex-brother of mine that's stabbed in here. So they do background checks. They start reading and following where you came from and trying to figure out what happened, and they're gonna learn it all about you before you even get out of recovering from getting stabbed. So when you land at your next pound, you know, they're going to have you in the infirmary, you all doctored and stitched up, and you're going to be trying to heal up. And then, you know, when you get out of the box there, out of the infirmary, or if they transfer you again to like another camp and you just stayed at that institution for the infirmary, no matter what, when you get out and land on that new compound, people are going to already know who you are before you even know who's at that camp. Word travels, bro, so quickly, and then you're going to get dealt with again. That's just how it goes, you feel me? But anyways, that's what the comment section's for. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I feel like the dude was dead ass wrong for straight up blaming his monkey. Just because he's a gang member, you know, he probably felt like, I'm a gang member. You know the type of people that feel like because they're somebody they can throw the heat on nobody. You know, they can just be like, you feel me, and just blame some innocent person and stuff. They do it in mob movies and shit, believe it or not, too. You know, some movies, they throw shit on their ops. They'll blame, you know, and they don't look at it as snitching. They'll set their ops up with something or make their ops take the charge in the fall. You feel me? And they don't think it's really that big of a deal. But it's like, at the same time, you're still told, though. Like, that's how I look at it. And obviously, them gang members looked at it the same way because they got that boy. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, y'all drop in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Like I said, I truly feel like he did snitch and he got what he deserved. He shouldn't have been playing with that people's organization. Regardless what organization it is, you must take those things serious because some of them is blood in, blood out. That's simple. But anyways, y'all, that's all I got for y'all today. I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned to the next video. Catch me at nighttime, man. I'll be doing live streams over here on the game. If y'all just want to chop it up, you ain't even got to be in the gaming. Any Q&As, anything like that, jump in the gaming stream and you'll see it's damn near a Q&A every night. Thanks for watching, man. Y'all already know, like I always say, make sure you keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe island boys, and clout chasers out your circle, and them fake-ass Florida gangbangers that think they're really legit, and they ain't, but salute to the real ones, though. But all the fake ones, man, keep them out your circle, man. Till next time, this the one and only, I am my team, Frog.